Let's just dive right into this explainer. Have you ever wondered why different parts of the US feel so, well, completely different from one another? To get that, we really have to look back at the very foundation of the country. So today, we're going to explore the unique economies, cultures, and specific purposes behind the New England, Middle, and Southern colonies. We'll see exactly how they laid the groundwork for the nation we know today.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're looking at foundations and order, New England's faith and frost, the Middle Colonies as the breadbasket, and the Southern Colonies' plantations and profit. Then we'll test your knowledge and wrap up with education, morality, and peace.
Section 1. Foundations and Order. Let all things be done decently and in order. This scripture really sets the stage perfectly for us. You see, purpose creates order. The folks who founded these colonies didn't just cross an ocean on a whim. They had very distinct motives, whether that was seeking religious freedom, chasing new trade opportunities, or just grabbing massive tracts of land. Understanding why these colonies were founded is literally the master key. It unlocks and explains all of their later laws, their political debates, and how they structured their societies.
So think of the 13 colonies as 3 distinct regions that ultimately fit together into one ordered plan. Now, even though these 3 areas developed vastly different economies and cultures, they were all basically ordered puzzle pieces. They played a crucial role in building the nation. Their differences created incredible unique strengths, and yeah, for sure some pretty serious tensions that would eventually forge a brand new American identity.
Section 2. New England, Faith and Frost.
It's honestly fascinating how the harsh northern environment collided with intense religious dedication up here. The New England colonies were primarily founded by Puritans, who were driven by deep religious motives. They wanted these highly ordered communities strictly guided by their beliefs. But they hit a massive geographic roadblock, a freezing climate and incredibly rocky soil. Because that rocky soil stopped large-scale farming in its tracks, they had to pivot. They built a booming economy around what they actually had: small family farms, fishing, timber, and shipbuilding. And since their faith demanded everyone be able to read the Bible, their towns were built tight around meeting houses and schools. It was all about high literacy and active civic participation.
Section 3. Middle Colonies, the breadbasket. Now, if New England was all about strict, uniform religious communities, the Middle Colonies were the exact opposite. This area became famous for a massive diversity of people, faiths, and economies. Why? Well, they established a culture of religious tolerance, which naturally led to much more open social structures. It was a total magnet for all kinds of immigrants. Geographically, they struck gold with incredibly fertile soil that was absolutely perfect for growing wheat and grains, which is how it got the nickname the breadbasket. All that grain, plus all those different people, fueled these bustling commercial ports that turned into massive international trade hubs.
Section 4. Southern Colonies, Plantations and Profit.
This right here brilliantly illustrates how stark geographical contrasts completely dictated the resulting economies of the North and the South. Up north, you've got the rocky, freezing coastlines of New England, forcing an economy of fishing and timber. Down south, you've got incredibly rich soil paired with very long, warm growing seasons. I mean, geography is destiny here. The southern climate was practically begging for large-scale agriculture.
So, taking full advantage of that warm climate, the Southern colonies developed massive plantation agriculture aimed directly at export markets. They were growing highly profitable cash crops like tobacco and rice. But here's the thing. This specific type of large-scale farming required an immense amount of physical work. To maximize their profits, this system came to rely heavily on enslaved labor. That economic choice permanently shaped Southern society. It created distinct social hierarchies and a legal system entirely designed to control enslaved people and protect the massive land holdings of the plantation owners.
Section 5. Testing your knowledge.
Okay, let's put those historical detective skills to the test and see how all these cause and effect puzzle pieces fit together. Think of this table as your master study guide. It visually proves exactly how a region's initial purpose and its geography lock together to build its unique economy. Look at the logic here. New England's religion and cold rocks lead to shipbuilding. The middle region's tolerance and fertile dirt lead to grain and ports. And the southern region's drive for profit and warm, rich soil lead to cash crops and plantations. It is all connected. So let's practice with a few historical clues.
Imagine you're analyzing historical clues. If you see a society passing laws that require town meetings, and they're strongly pushing for publicly funded schools to ensure literacy, where are you on the map?
You're in New England. Those specific civic and educational structures didn't just pop out of thin air. They were directly ordered by the intense religious motives of the Puritans, who specifically wanted an educated, morally aligned community.
Let's look at the next puzzle piece. If the clues on your desk are massive wheat exports and a highly diverse population speaking all sorts of different languages down by a busy commercial port, which region are we describing?
That would absolutely be the Middle Colonies. Their foundational belief in religious tolerance and open social structures naturally attracted a wide variety of immigrant groups, and those groups worked that fertile soil and traded out of those busy ports.
All right, for our final historical mystery, which region is defined by passing specific laws to control enslaved people, all in order to maximize agricultural profit?
That describes the Southern Colonies. Their entire legal and social structure was built around the labor system required to maintain massive, highly profitable tobacco and rice plantations. The economy drove the laws.
And just like that, you now have all the logical tools you need to easily conquer these 5 questions. When you tackle these, don't just memorize the facts. Look for those exact cause and effect relationships we just talked about. See how the climate forces economic choices, and how those economic choices force legal decisions.
Section 6. Education, Morality, and Peace.
Let's wrap up this explainer by taking this historical concept of ordered purpose and connecting it directly to your own life as a student at Smart Academy. Just as early America needed a strong foundation and a clear, ordered purpose to grow into a successful nation, you need a strong foundation to grow as a person. This is exactly why the Smart Academy Godly Learner series purposefully intertwines biblical morality with your education. As we've seen throughout history, structure and morality are required to build something lasting and peaceful. Romans chapter 8, verses 6 and 7 promises peace of mind to everyone who keeps their mind spiritual. That is the exact experience we see when people truly engage with our content. An education grounded in strong moral order leads to a peaceful, successful life.
Because at the end of the day, education without morality will ultimately hurt you. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. What is the point of being incredibly smart, passing all your tests, and being supposedly educated if you just continue to make choices that hurt yourself and others? True education isn't just about knowing historical facts. It's about building a moral foundation. So I challenge you today. How are you going to use your learning to make spiritually sound, ordered choices in your own life? Thank you so much for exploring the foundations of America with me today.